Okay. Ambrosia, do you just want to tell me a little bit about the BIPR class and what encouraged you to enroll in the class and what you feel has been beneficial?
Yeah, I saw the flyer on my son's Head Start classroom, and it was just if you have problems with these certain things with your child, like not all of them applied to my son, but like the social emotional and like just some of the themes that they were talking about on that flyer really got me interested in it and wanted to take it because I've taken parenting classes in the past and I've learned so much from them. So I wanted to take another one now that he's older so that I can learn a lot more. And there was a lot that I did learn from the class though.
So what are some specific things that you can share with other families who are looking to enroll in the class? So if I'm a parent and I've walked by the board and I see this flyer, what as another parent would you say to me to get me to enroll in this class that's been beneficial for you?
I would say one of the biggest things that I got from the class is having, my group was pretty small, but having someone else to bounce ideas off of. And there was only 2 parents in the class that I took, but both of us turned to each other and was like, hey, what do you do for this? Hey, how do you brush the hair? That's a struggle for us. How do you deal with the morning routine? How do you deal with bedtime? And then we also had 2 people who were teaching the, in a sense, facilitating the group, and then they would jump in and be like, they both have kids, so they'd be like, I've done this in the past, maybe this can work for you. And then they also did some teaching for us too aside from that. But I feel like the biggest thing that I took away was the personal experiences of other people and how they deal with certain situations. In the beginning of the class, the first day of the class, they ask us what we expect out of this class, or like what's some behavioral, any type of issues that we're having with our children, like morning routine, we're having issues with it. And like that way they can try and touch on that during the course of the class. It is only a 5-week class, but that 5 weeks goes by so fast.
So you really felt like they had the ability to individualize for you and your specific needs.
Definitely. The individualization, I would say, would be the biggest thing that I loved about the class, because with that came, like, we only had 2 parents, so it was very individual. We brought in our own examples of what our children are going through or what we want to help our children get through during the day. Like the morning routine, it's always hard for everyone. You wake up late, you're rushing, but they had so many different examples of how to deal with that, or like get, like, the biggest one that I did get is to give, like, wake up your child and then give them about 10 extra minutes of bed. Tell them, I'm going to wake you up in about 10 minutes. That way it's on their time. They think that it's like you're helping them out so much more than what they believe, because they get that extra amount of time in bed, like what everyone likes. Mm-hmm. Everyone loves that extra time in bed. Mm-hmm. So it was just very helpful. And then we also did take a couple, like one or two classes and learned about the brain and how it works. And me being in school, I've learned this before, but I have not, in a sense, applied it to my son and how his brain is working and put it in direct contact with my life. And it was just a lot easier to wrap my head around it now that they were putting it in child terms, because I've learned it school-wise, but child terms, it's completely different, especially when you have your own child.
Great. So if you were to say that there was one main thing that the BIPR class impacted your life, in what area the most, what would you say that is?
Well, it was 5 classes, so that in a sense, each class had its own theme that we talked about. And so one class we learned about the brain, another class we learned about parent attachment theory, the attachment theory of an infant, and then how that carries on to a preschooler. And then we also learned about the biggest thing that I took away was the interactive play with your child. In a sense, what that is taking easily 5 minutes out of your day and getting down on the floor and doing child-directed play. Just don't have any, the thing with it is don't have any expectations. Just whatever they're doing, you get down on the floor and do it with them. And it makes them feel like they own the world. Like they are the ones who are in charge of this 5 minutes. You could do it longer, but 5 minutes is really, a day, 5 minutes is a great, because everyone has busy lives. Mm-hmm. And if you just take that 5 minutes out of your day, your child's going to appreciate that so much more than what you really do. Like, especially like if they're having, like, say you're at home and you're cooking or something, and have them join you and have them help you with that, because it just gives them that sense of they're important, and they want to be around you because you're their caregiver, you're their parent. They want to be around you, and it gives them that sense of, I don't know what the word is, the sense of love that you show them every day, but it's on a different level. So the interactive child focused play would be the biggest thing that I did take away, because I've taken several parenting classes in the past, and that's one thing that they've always said. But it took me actually, because in the class they also had us go into the room where the children were and actually, like, we observed them doing this interactive play that we had just learned about. So having it put into perspective like that helped me a lot, so that I know, in a sense, I have an example of what to follow when I'm at home. Yes, you can personalize it, but it's just the simple fact that you have something to go off of.
Do you feel like parents who are maybe not experiencing difficulties at home would still be able to benefit from the class?
I really do, because it teaches you more about your child, in a sense, like especially the brain. And then we talked about mirror neurons. It was kind of because I've probably learned about it in school because of what I'm going to school for, but in a sense, all mirror neurons are is the reaction, like, say you're feeling tired and I notice it. That's because of your mirror neurons, you're able to notice that. Like, you learn a lot more than just how to deal with certain behaviors. And I mean, every child has some type of moment during the day where they have a difficulty, whether it be transition from home to school, or from school to home, or from on the weekends when they don't have school and they're not going anywhere, waking up. Like, there's always some type of difficulties I believe there's some type of difficulties for every child, whether they're the best behaved child, when they're in public, at home, anything. There's always some type of difficult moment in the day. So taking this class really did help me realize that there are some things I could do to help the situation rather than getting it to escalate in a moment's notice.
I think that's good, Eric.
I think so.
Yeah. Good job. Fantastic.
Yeah.
You hit on a lot of really specific stuff, which is going to be really helpful, because I think that's what parents want to know, is that even if I'm not experiencing this difficulty right now, that by taking this class, I'll have those tools in my toolbox later on to be able to manage, to deal, and to be just prepared as a parent.
Yeah.
Thanks.